Welcome. This is the law. It's your legal light and it's your health law. Today, let's call it's a law change alert. Law change alert. The laws of Ghana regarding bribery, giving and accepting bribe have changed. They have changed from misdemeanor, meaning punished with a maximum of 3 years in jail, to now a maximum of 25 years in jail. So if you attempt to give a bribe or accept a bribe, this is how long you are looking to spend in jail. Will this end bribery in Ghana? But what is your role? You and I, what can we do? So once again, let's call this show It Takes Two. The giver and the taker are equally guilty. What can we do? It's your show this afternoon. You're going to be calling and joining us on Zoom, so we discuss whether or not the new change to the law will end bribery. We'll be right back. I'm Samson Ladia Nyanini.
na mfumso eba ne nchen samayo obi abonye na samafum obi a ndeden. In
the first election to confirm the nominee, Alex Safo Kantanka, only 5 of 26 ballot cast were in his favor. The election was subsequently postponed for various reasons after the president renominated him for the second time. The nominee in the second election could garner only 10 votes out of the total 26, with 1 being rejected. Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah, who had earlier called on the members to put behind all misgivings against the nominee, expressed his disappointment. One of the assembly members, Patrick Yeboah, claims he was assaulted by the nominee outside the conference room after the election. He was prevented from retaliating. Supporters of the nominee massed up at the assembly grounds, threatening to assault all assembly members locked up in the building.
This is serious. They are not allowing the regional minister to go.
The police had to whisk away the Ashanti Regional Minister, Simon Osei-Mensah, from mob action. Representative of the Ashanti Caucus of MPs, Emmanuel Ejay Anshe, was also assaulted by the mob. Here are some. The nominee around the same period went into the assembly's conference room where the members were gathered in demand of refund of alleged money paid to the assembly members.
Who said this person? Open this cabinet. Open this cabinet. This cabinet someone here. Okay. Open this yes.
The police intervened to march out the nominee.
There's fresh trouble for the president's MC nominee for Joabeng, Alex Safo Kantanka, whose election has been saddled with controversies. The latest is that he's been invited by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. The statement from the OSP, or the letter from the OSP, reads as follows. the office, direction to attend the office of the special prosecutor. The office of the special prosecutor has commenced investigations into allegations of corruption and corruption-related offences, especially corruption and intimidation, in respect of a public election, in relation to your nomination and confirmation or otherwise as the municipal chief executive of Joabin Municipality in the Ashanti region. The OSP considers you a person necessary for the investigations. You are directed to attend in person the office of the OSP at 6 Haile Selassie Avenue, Southbridge, Accra, with digital address GA0790906 on Tuesday, November 9, 2021 at 2:30 in the afternoon for interviewing. You may be accompanied by a counsel of your choice.
You're welcome back. As I indicated earlier, it takes two, because the offense of bribery or the crime of bribery takes two people. One must give and one must take. One must attempt to give and one must be willing and ready to accept. Now, the law as we already have it since 1960 in what we call the Act 29, that's the Criminal Offences Act, is simply that if you make an attempt, that is, a person shall not accept or agree to offer to accept valuable consideration under the pretense of having unduly influence or being able or agreeing to influence any other person in respect of functions as a public officer or juror. A person shall not give or agree or offer to give a public officer a valuable consideration for the grant to that person or to any other person of a benefit or an advantage for the exercise of influence in favor of that person or any other person. Now, this has been the law in section 252 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act. And if you attempted to give money to a public officer, or you gave money to a public officer and they accepted it, or they attempted to accept it in a bid to influence their work, which often you are aware happens particularly with police officers when they arrest you or stop you over some road traffic offense. The quickest thing people do in Ghana is to do what? Offer the officer some money. And often it's some 5 cedis, 10 cedis, 20 cedis. The tractor drivers have made this the default. When they are stopped, the first thing they do is they take either some, small thing that they use to put their license in or something like that, and they put the money in it, cover it nicely, and push it to the police officers, and they take it. This is what we are talking about. Giving and accepting bribe. If you went to any public place, either you are seeking a job or something, and the work that they are supposed to do for you, they ask you to do the thing that you have become familiar with to be the brown envelope. Sometimes it is brown envelope they take, sometimes it's not any brown envelope. You just put your hands into your pocket and you give out the money, and they take it so that it will influence them to do something for you or refrain from doing something against you. So the law in 1960, which we have used all this while until the 27th day of October 2020 last year, was that if you were caught giving bribe or accepting bribe and you were taken to court and you were found guilty, you are liable to go to jail for not more than 3 years. not more than 3 years, because it was a misdemeanor. Now it has been elevated to a second-degree felony. Now, and the punishment enhanced. So now if you give bribe, or you attempt to give bribe, if you accept bribe, or you show willingness to accept it, that is the attempt to commit the offense, and you are caught, you are looking to go to jail, and there's no negotiation about it. You are looking to go to jail for a minimum of 12 years and a maximum of 25 years. What's the rationale for this? Ghanaians are becoming too used to bribery. We have become too used to it. It's become normal. It's become the default position. That is the best thing to do. And like I said, often police officers, they stop you for traffic infraction. And the first thing you do is to offer them some money. Some actually ask for the money. You may have seen the man who was gearing up for the district assembly, MCE, who is in trouble now. The police have, as it were, arrested him, taking his statement, granted him bail, and the special prosecutor, office of the special prosecutor, is also after him. His trouble is double. We'll tell you about his. His might be a little different from this one, except that in his case, he is likely, if he's found guilty, because the videos are out there, he was heard saying that he gave money to bribe the guys, you know, as it were, to influence the elections, and they didn't vote for him. And he was asking his money back. In his case, because it relates to elections, the law is a little different. So if the law in elections is going to be used to deal with him, then he is looking to go to jail for about 2 years, and then from the date when he finished serving his jail term, then he is going to be, as it were, prohibited from being registered to vote in elections, or voting in elections, or being voted for in elections for 5 years. But this afternoon, let's do our duty as citizens. The Constitution says we also as citizens have a duty. Part of our duty is to ensure that the laws of Ghana are respected. My question this afternoon is, it takes two. So how are we going to help to make this law work? It takes two. Are you going to give bribe? Why? What's the motivation for giving bribe? Why don't you want to go through the process? For example, and I give a very typical example, that if you were driving and while driving, you were handling a handset, that's a communication device, like this phone, and you were making a phone call while you were on the wheel. You were, holding the steering wheel. It is an offense that by the Road Traffic Regulations 2012, Section 107, you can get a fine of 600 Ghana cedis, or you go to jail for 3 months, or you get both, depending on the circumstance. Just for picking your phone, trying to text, or trying to make a phone call whilst you are in motion in a vehicle, you are looking to get to jail for 3 months, or pay 600 Ghana cedis, or both. 600 maximum plus about 3 months maximum in jail. Now, there are many who ask the question, why should I go through the trouble of going to court and going through all the up and downs, maybe hiring a lawyer, then in the end I'm paying 600, rather than perhaps just give that money to the police officer to let me go. Or the police officer may not even need 600. All they may need is 100 Ghana cedis out of that, and then I'll be let go. You and I, when we do that, what are we doing to the country? Are we helping? But the point now is that because of this new enhancement in the offense of bribery, if you make the attempt to offer the police officer money, you are looking to a fresh offense where, in addition to the punishment for picking your phone or dialing your phone or making WhatsApp or whatever, just holding your phone whilst you are driving, in addition to that, you are looking to go to jail for at least 12 years or 25 years maximum, because that will become a new offense for offering the police officer bribe. And if the police officer also accepted it, they are also guilty. So why wouldn't you go to the court and go through the process and pay this fine rather than give money to the police officer? Well, the law says you can only pick your phone or use your phone when you are driving if you have to call the emergency services or you want to call the police and it is impracticable to stop before you make the call. The only group of persons who have the liberty to make phone calls or use their phones when they are driving are the police and the emergency services like the fire service. You don't have that liberty. But this afternoon, we're opening the phone lines. Let us begin to discuss the question of bribe. Has the law been enhanced this way from a maximum of 3 years jail to a maximum of 25 years and a minimum of 12 years jail for giving a bribe, for offering a bribe, for attempting to bribe or taking? Has it been done this way so that this country will get rid of this practice that kills us? That is corruption. Right. So it takes two. What do you think? Will it end bribery? Will it not end it? But what is your role to make this law work to end bribery in this country? Because it kills. There can be a driver who, a friend of mine will say, is using a TV license to drive. He doesn't have a driver's license. He's a killer. But because he can give 5 cedis or 10 cedis, he's let go. The next thing that happens is that he's gone to throw hundreds of people into a ditch and kill them. Just 1 week, 2 accidents, dozens of people have died. Over 2,000 people have died so far in the year because of road accidents. Some of it, we understand, is because of the small offenses that drivers are not observing. Jumping the traffic and all of the red light and all of that. Who is encouraging them? When you sit in a vehicle, are you minded to caution the driver that it's wrong? You don't have to be speeding the way you are doing. You don't have to be picking your phone to text or call and all the other wrongs. Are you minded to do that? How can we all stop it? If you see a police officer taking money from a driver, what do you say? And of course, remember, this is not just about the police. Too many people are involved in this. It takes two. You're at liberty to join us now. This is the law, and today's edition, we want you to contribute to how to end bribery and corruption. Hi, Jan. Ebo, let's hear you, Jan. Hi, Jan. Ebo, unmute and then go ahead to speak. Hello, Ebo. Yes. Have you unmuted yourself?
Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay. Please, I want to know from you, in case you've been to an office and the authority, the leader in that office have established that before
your line is very bad. I can barely hear what you are saying. Hello, Albert. Let's hear your contribution. What do you think? This new enhancement, will it end bribery in Ghana? And what is your role, Albert? Hello, Albert.
Well, I know this one.
Hi, Ibrahim.
I go fish my fish.
Ibrahim, let's hear you. Okay, so guys, there are too many of you on the Zoom now. All you need to do is just chill, relax. I mention your name, you unmute, and then you go ahead to speak. Yes, who is speaking? Is that Ibrahim? Hi, Jonas.
Yes, please.
Yes, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon. Hello?
Jonas, go ahead.
Hello?
Jonas, I can hear you. Speak.
About the Medina MP, Honorable Sosu. What we've heard is he actually informed the police before embarking on the demonstration. And we know demonstration is part of democracy. It's an arm of it. It is the right of every citizen to demonstrate if he wants things done for the country or want a long-term problem solved for his or a community. So he actually informed the police, and then we heard that police were there with him during the action, during the demonstration. So I want to know if it is lawful to arrest him while police were part of the demonstration. I don't know if you get me. Police were there.
Okay, Jonas, thank you very much. But let's set the ground rules clear. This is the law. On the law, we do pure legal education so that we avoid matters of politics. That's what we do on this show. This afternoon, what we are discussing is the fact that the law that punishes giving and accepting bribe, it used to punish for a maximum of 3 years for giving or accepting bribe. Now it has been enhanced. For giving or accepting bribe, you are looking to go to jail minimum 12 years, maximum 25 years. What do you say about this new amendment? What will be your role? Will you want to give a bribe rather than, ensuring that the law is working? So that's what we are discussing this afternoon, and not general issues. There'll be one day that we will dedicate, myself and perhaps one other lawyer, will sit here and just take any questions from you and answer them. Yes, Yao Entry. Hello, Yao Entry. Unmute. When you are giving the opportunity, just be minded. Unmute and then speak. In the meantime, let me say this. Generally, we have a law that guides how to go about demonstrations in Ghana. The law is called the Public Order Act. If you want to go on a demonstration, which the law calls a public event or special event, the law says you must write to the police station nearest you. What do you write to do? You write to notify them. Note that, notify, not seek permission. Some police officers get the wrong impression that you are seeking a permission. You are not seeking a permission, because the Constitution in chapter 5 grants you the power and the right to do demonstrations. But this law gives the mechanics. So it says write and give at least 5 days notice to the police nearest you that you want to undertake a special event. When you do that, if it is okay with them, they will tell you that we will come and give you protection so that you go through the routes that you have indicated. They could also get back to you to inform you that the day you have chosen is not the best for them because they have one duty or the other, or that there is something else happening in town that will not make it conducive. They could also inform you that you may want to have to change the routes that you want to take in the demonstration. If you agree with them, fine. If you disagree with them, they cannot stop you. You can go ahead, except that they have a right to go to court to get an injunction to stop you. Now, that same law, section 3, says that the organizers of the demonstration or the leaders, should anything go wrong, you will be held responsible. If you go on a demonstration, you can be nice about it. You don't need to burn tires. You don't need to block the roads. You'll be obstructing road and all of that. So once you commit an offense, if the police find you, they can arrest you for a demonstrator. But if they can't find the one who is doing it, it is the leaders who are responsible. And the law says they will pay for the damages that are done. So maybe that helps your question without reference to any politician. Hello, Abubakar Sadiq. Hi, Abubakar Sadiq, you are here in Accra. Let's hear you and let's stick to our issue. What do you say about the enhancement of the punishment for bribery in Ghana? Hello, Sadiq.
Yes.
Yes, let's hear you.
Okay. I would also like to contribute as far as the issue is concerned. And my contribution is that it's about our leaders. You know, we have the...
Unfortunate. Sadiq has been lost. Yes, let's go to Stephen. Hello, Stephen.
Hello.
Yes, Stephen, where are you calling from? And let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I'm calling from Tama.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my issue is that the penalty for giving bribe is not going to work.
Why?
The reason is that it's going to give opportunity for the policeman to have mercy on you by collecting a bribe. Because when you do any offense and the policeman stops you, he's thinking of, oh, poor boy, how am I going to take you to court to go for a jail 12 years or more? You see, you can even say 50 years imprisonment. That will not stop bribery. When it is so severe, then the policeman becomes merciful on you. So you offering the bribe to the policeman, he's going to take advantage of that. Okay, instead of 12 years imprisonment. Let me just take
question to you, Stephen, is why do you want to offer bribe? And why don't you want to go through the process so that we can all give to ourselves the kind of country we are looking for?
Thank you very much. Here I am. I'm already have offended the traffic. So if I have to go, if I know that I'm going to go to jail 12 years or more, the next thing is to think of
when you commit a traffic offense, you don't go to jail for 12 years or 12 or 25 years. I'm just giving you one example. For example, where you are using the phone to make a call.
Okay.
You are liable to pay a maximum of 600 Ghana cedis.
A maximum of?
It is when you decide to offer a bribe that you now come with a new offense where you are likely to be going to jail for 12 to 25 years.
You are going to pay how much?
I'm saying that for traffic offenses, you don't go to jail for 25 years.
Okay.
This is bribery. This is bribery. That's where you go to jail for a maximum of 25 years or a minimum of 12 years. But my question to you is, why do you want to offer the police a bribe or any other person a bribe instead of ensuring that the law works?
Well, the fine for the offense itself is not reasonable. It is too much.
Which fine? The fine for which offense?
For traffic offense we have in this country.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. Anthony Jima, let's hear you. I think that Stephen is actually not following properly. There are various punishments for traffic offenses. So, for example, if you fail to carry advance warning devices, when your car breaks down, you're supposed to put your, warning devices on the way. If you don't carry them on you, for example, and you are caught, you'll be paying between 300 to 600 Ghana cedis. If you are failing to wear reflective clothing and protective helmet, where you are doing work that requires reflective clothing or protective helmet, you are looking to pay almost the same amount, 300 to 600 Ghana cedis. But we are not talking about traffic offenses. We are talking about the new enhancement to bribery. Yes, what do you say about it?
Okay, so my concern is that, you see, most people are motivated to give bribe in order to solve problems in its convenient way. So this law, which is being expected to be published, how the guarantee that the law, when you offend and you go through the legal procedure, the issue will be dealt with in a very hasty manner, in such a way that it wouldn't have any influence on your regular activities. I'm sure that if that guarantee is there, the motivation to give the police officer the bribe when you find yourself in such.
All right, thank you for your contribution, and please let's remember, let's keep the focus. I just use one traffic offense to illustrate that in a traffic offense where you are going to pay 300, why won't you go through it but want to offer a bribe? And if you offer a bribe, you are committing a fresh offense that could take you to jail for 12 to 25 years. Say you are supposed to wear your seat belt. If you don't wear your seat belt, you are looking to pay about 120 Ghana cedis to 600 Ghana cedis. If you do not carry the prescribed number of persons, like your car has a number of persons who are supposed to be sitting in it. If you don't take that number and you take exceed more than the number who are supposed to sit in the car that you are carrying, you are looking to pay between 120 Ghana cedis to 300 Ghana cedis. Why don't we as a people just say, yes, I have offended, let me pay, go to court and pay, rather than offer a bribe? But remember, not only police officers, bribe is being offered everywhere, in all the offices around the place. People are dropping the brown envelope and all of that. The focus is that bribery will now get you 12 years minimum and 25 years maximum. It used to be only 3 years. Do you think this new law will end bribery? And what is your role? Hi, Ebojan. Unmute and let's hear you, Ebojan.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Hello.
Ebojan, you are clear. Let's hear you.
Can I have it now? Hello.
Okay. Yes, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Hello, Samson.
Listen to me directly and not on your handset. Mute and let's talk later. Hello, Bukari. Bukari, you are calling us from Tumu. Hello, Bukari.
Yes.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, this issue of corruption in Ghana is actually a big issue. And I'm thinking that the new law is too, I don't know what it is, something that is on the high side. It's like if you are hungry and then you want to eat food and eat much of the food, then it will be another problem. So I'm thinking that if the law is somehow down and then we do public education, we make sure that we start at the basic schools and let them understand that this is what is happening. This is the implication of corrupt activities. Then when we do that and then we do public education, we bring other institutions to talk to people, it will be better. But if we are just, we want to cut law and we are running, it means that at the end of the day, we are not going to achieve anything. I think that the law is on the high side. It need to.
All right.
If there's a way out to start it, and we all have to.
Thank you, Bukari. Let's go to Kujo Entry. Hello, Kujo Entry.
Hi, Cameron Samson. I'm calling from Canada.
All right, let's hear you.
Yeah. Samson, can I come in?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Hello.
Samson, my concern is with regards to, yes, hello?
Go ahead.
Yes. I have
Hello.
Hello. Oh, is somebody on the line?
Please go ahead.
Hello, can I come in?
I'm listening to you.
Hello, can I come in?
I'm listening to you. Okay, can we drop all these lines? And gentlemen and ladies, we can do this very nicely. You just have to pay attention. If there's someone already who's been given the opportunity to talk, you don't interfere and cross them. It's as simple as that. All right. Who do I have on phone? Hi, Jima. You're calling from Siani. What do you say?
Yes, sounds good to you and your viewers. One of the things I have to say is this. I think the law is punitive enough to stop us from giving bribery or taking. But then the society Ghana, the evil that I want to, excuse my word, the evil that we are currently kind of faced with will make it difficult for people to stop giving bribe. One, a fresh graduate just comes out of school. He has applied several years to get recruited or to get a job in any of the public sector. This person has gone through all the processes for 5 good years, no employment. Then he hears that there is this connection guy who takes 3,000 or 6,000 and he gives the job is guaranteed. And there is evidence to this. Then he goes to pay and this, lo and behold, he gets it. So you see, this graduate who goes the job, he tells his friends and let them know that it is reliable. After he has suffered for 5 years, he was able to pass through this place and he got it. They will also patronize it. And the more they patronize, the more we have some of these connection guys coming up. The other one I want to talk about is, for example, your legal system is not very accessible to most of our people. And so if I am at a place, let's say it is a traffic offense, where I am supposed to pass through the legal processes and get whatever fine that I'm supposed to pay and pay them for. In, let's say, Calba, the front region, the only place I can go to court is in Bole or in town. Imagine the distance I have to cover when that traffic fine was supposed to be like 300 cities. I'm going to cover over 50 kilometers in and out, about 2, 3, or even more times within that district to be able to pass through this process. So you see, at the end of the day, it makes sense that I give whatever penny the police officer is demanding from me and go away. Otherwise, you end up spending more than even 2,000 Ghana cedis on something that you are supposed to use just within 1 day. If they could use 1 day to give judgment.
My question to you is that we all want to build a good society, not so? We all want our country to be like the others that we try to compare and say they are doing well. We want to go there because the law works.
That's right.
So, if, for example, you are disregarding road signs, and the law says if you are arrested for disregarding road signs, you are going to pay about 60 Ghana cedis. 60 Ghana cedis. And that's the law. I'm not making a hypothesis. If, for example, you are doing more than the speed limit, your punishment is 60 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
If, for example, you are carrying one person extra than your vehicle is designated to carry, your punishment is 60 Ghana cedis. You are telling me that you feel better giving that 60 Ghana cedis to the traffic enforcer, regulation enforcer, than spending money to go to court and to pay that money to the state. That's what you are saying.
Not exactly. It is a two-way affair. So I try to do the cost-benefit analysis. I for one, wouldn't do that. I am noted for one of those things. Even using a motorbike, I have everything. And to always ensure that any time they stop me, I am able to provide whatever that is needed. When you do the cost-benefit analysis and you see that if you are going to bribe, it will cost you less than going through the legal processes or going through all the legal processes so that you will exonerate yourself, pay the fine and move. When you do the cost-benefit analysis and you realize that it's going to cost you more if you're going to put those laid down processes, then of course as a human being it wouldn't make sense for you to.
Okay, your point is well noted. Thank you very much. That also means that we need to do a lot of things easier for people in this country, but why don't we pay that cost to get the desired ideal country that we want for ourselves? Is it Stephen? Hello, Stephen. Hello, Stephen. Hello, Jonas. Hello, Jonas.
Thank you very much for your education this morning, this afternoon. Sorry. Yeah. Imagine I'm driving from Techiman to Kintampo. There is a place that always policemen are there. When you are overspeeding, they use a certain thing like a gun, stand on the road to measure your speed limit. When you get there and they stops you, they ask you why you are overspeeding, and then they ask you your license and other things. Afterwards, you'll be there and they'll be there standing looking at you. In this case, it's clear for me as a citizen that they are demanding for something, and what I have to do is to give like 10 cedis or 20 cedis, and clearly after doing that they leave you to go. In this case, who is going to arrest? Am I going to arrest the police and take them to court, or they have to take me to court? I want to get that one clear.
Yeah, so Jonas, yeah. I'm saying that we all have a responsibility in building the country. Is that so? I suppose that is agreed.
Yes.
Right. The Constitution in Articles 40, 41 says that we all have a duty to this country. Now, you, the one offering the bribe,
okay,
you are doing the wrong thing. You are committing an offense. The one who is accepting the bribe is also committing an offense. If that person is an officer, police officer, who will accept the bribe, of course, they can't take you on because they have accepted it. But if you wanted to sort of bait them and get them, punished for doing that kind of activity, then you gather the evidence about it and then you report them. You report them for demanding a bribe.
All right.
Then they will now be prosecuted and they could go to jail for 12 to 25 years. So thank you very much. Let's continue the discussion. I want you to tell me whether you think that this enhancement of the punishment for bribery will end bribery in Ghana or reduce it to the barest minimum. But more importantly, what is your role when we are talking, let's think about what we can do as well in the process. George Amponsa, you are calling from Joabing. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Thompson. It's a pleasure joining you this afternoon.
Afternoon. Let's hear you.
Yes, I would like to speak about the two sides of the issues that we are discussing this afternoon. The first one has to do with the sanction regimes, which has been enhanced, like you are educating us on. And the second one has to do with the appropriate mechanisms the state must put in place to ensure that the recipeism and the bureaucracies in our state institutions are also reduced, such that it will curb, the menace of corruption in our various offices and public places. Because you realize that you get to an office for something to be done for you within, let's say, 30 minutes. And you can be there for close to 2 hours and nobody will be attending to you. So the tendency for you to speak to a couple of people to ensure that you are dealt with within the shortest possible time is always there. And people will speak to you that, okay, if you want it to be done within the shortest possible time, why don't you do this so that you can have your way? So the mechanisms to check that the bureaucracies are reduced is not there. So even if you enhance the sanction regimes, it will still be there because corruptions are, happening in all these places. People are not checking what causes the corruption, but we are saying that we are enhancing the sanction regimes. Therefore, we are increasing the jail term from 12 years to 25 years. I think the state must also be interested in the mechanism.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, George. But let's remember again, the punishment used to be a maximum of 3 years. It is now minimum 12, maximum 25 years. So you could get anything between 12 to 25 years for offering a bribe or accepting a bribe. Question: why don't you play your part? What is your role that you will play to ensure that we rid this country of this attitude? People are looking for recruitment into various services, various public offices, and the bribery is so rampant. But remember, you are the one giving. You are as guilty as the one taking. Why are you saying there's a justification for giving it? Because it's the easy way. Is that the country you want to build? That's the question. Will this end the bribery? Hello, Suleimani.
Will this end the bribery? Hello, Suleimani.
Yes, yes, please. Yes, so thank you very much for the opportunity. Yes, for me, what I think is that as citizens, we have, just as Samson, you are indicating, we have a role to play. And our role that we can play is to also help in the sensitization of because normally we don't even know the road traffic offenses when we commit any of them, for instance, that you were mentioning. We don't know the penalty involved in it. So even there are certain circumstances that probably even end up by paying more even than when they take you to the law.
Yeah, right.
So what we can do is to all help in the sensitization so that we get to understand the offenses and even the sanctions applied to them, so that together we can build the nation that we will all be proud of.
Thank you very much, Levani. Hello, Benjamin. Benjamin. Hello, George. You are calling us from Kwabeya.
Yes. Thank you very much, Samson. Yes, I have two concerns here concerning the program that you're running. People seem to be zeroing in so much and dwelling on road traffic infringements and so on. I want us to cast our minds wider than that, because I think there's a lot more of corruption existing in high governmental offices and so on. those things need to be tackled because, I mean, if we restrict it to what happens on the road with regard to drivers and the police, we'll be doing just injustice to ourselves because, I mean, the bigger forms of corruption exist in higher places. And what sanction regimes have we put on those ones? You know? But then if we come to what is happening on our roads, I think the best thing to do, because I've heard people talking about not wanting to spend too much time going to court and so on.
That's
what
right.
about spot fine?
That's right.
So that, I mean, the police, they have a receipt book. Once you infringe on traffic regulations, and then most of the times, I mean, the drivers know they have committed the offense.
That's right.
Let the police, if the drivers are going to use Momo to pay, fine, let them do it, so that there is no transfer of cash between offenders and the police, and then it's duly receipted. If police will, as it exists in other places, they will issue you with a ticket, and then you go and pay. If you object to whatever charges they are charging you with, then you go to court.
Yes, you just get a ticket and then you pay.
Yes.
It's as simple as that.
So there is no interaction between the police and as far as cash transfer.
Right. But so what do you think that whilst these things that are supposed to be done to make things easier are not being done, the approach rather is to deter the bribery, to deter the offering and the acceptance of the bribery, so that now you and I, if we found ourselves in a situation where we had to offer anybody a bribe, we have to be thinking that we are candidates for jail for minimum 12 years. Is that helpful in the meantime?
Yeah, I think it's a deterrent. But considering the huge amounts of money that change hands in the form of bribery in higher places, governmental offices, contractors seeking contracts from various departments and ministries and so on, and all the monies that they pump into, what are the sanction regimes for those ones too?
All right.
Because, I mean, otherwise, then it's just the poor person who suffers.
All right. There are sanction regimes when it comes to procurement matters, when it comes to contract issues where the monies are supposed to be recovered, and people could go to jail for also about 10 years after monies have been recovered and the rest of them. Yes. Is it Galaxy? Hello, Galaxy. Unmute and let's hear you, Galaxy. Galaxy A20. That's your device by which you are calling us. That's the only way we can identify you. Unmute and talk. Hi, Samuel. Let's hear you, Samuel.
That's your device by which you are calling us. That's the way we can identify you. Unmute and talk.
Hello, Samson.
Hi, Samuel. Let's hear you, Samuel.
Hello.
Please go ahead. Listen direct. When you listen through your device, it's delayed. That's the problem. Joseph Okra, let's hear you. Joseph, you are calling from Kumasi. Let's hear you. Oh, this is frustrating. Hello, Joseph Okra. You're calling from Kumasi. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Please talk.
Yes, please. Samson, good afternoon.
Please speak.
Can I go on?
Speak. Okay, so we just been wasting too much time with the phone protocol. I don't know how else to get around it. We just been wasting too much time over the phone protocol. How to, just go ahead, speak, listen directly, and even on the Zoom, unmuting. Once I have announced that you should speak, there's so many of you hanging in there on Zoom, and I can't get you to talk. Just a couple of you are complying with the protocol. Hello, Nuto.
Yeah, can I talk?
Sharp, go ahead.
Okay, great. I want to say this. I think that bribery is on the rampant because it's something which is hidden. People don't show it when they are giving bribe, or they don't let people know it. The receiver and the giver alike. So increasing the jail sentence still doesn't change anything. Even when it was small, it still didn't change anything. I think we will need to put in things in place that will really make people not to want to accept bribe. For the police, for instance, you can change the way they are handling things on the road. If the police are giving more incentive for people they bring in, maybe if they bring somebody in and the person is supposed to pay 60 cedis, maybe that particular policeman will be given 20 cedis or 30 cedis out of it. This way, this man is not going to receive 5 cedi bribe on the road, but he's going to insist to come to court.
Inuto, thank you very much for your interesting view there. David, let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sampson.
Good afternoon. Go ahead.
I also think that the 12 to 25 years actually is something that I think it should be able to stop bribery. But as I speak, it will not be able to do so. It will only scare us a little bit. Why am I saying this? To be frank, people today are taking bribery. It's like bribery is part of some of us. And it's not only in the police sector. As I speak, everywhere. When you go and sometimes you don't think of removing a pistol to endow somebody to actually go ahead and do something, that is where people are demanding something from you.
Yeah, that's the problem. The person is paid to do the work for which, the service for which you are going to seek. And so why should you induce them? Why should you give them money? Should they demand anything from you? So what can we do? What can we do? Because it is the giver and the taker.
That's very true. As we speak, to me, I think what we can do is that we need to educate the public, because sometimes when you get there, you are not willing to do, but others from behind will come and do what is actually illegal.
Yeah, that's
and they'll be giving them much attention and neglecting the one who wants to go through the right way. And by the time you realize, you are tempted to also follow them, because you are all there for what you want to. And now that people are coming from behind, they are doing what is illegal, and they are doing for them. Sometimes you also want to go and report them, but you are looking at the whole scenario. When you report them, they are telling you that bring evidence. And some of the evidence too, it is hard to always get. And it is this thing that is actually scaring some people away.
All right, thank you very much. Let me see if Galaxy Note 8 can hear me. Galaxy Note 8, can you hear me? You have glasses. You are the one wearing the glasses. Your device it shows as Galaxy Note 8. Okay, you are not even paying attention. Hello, Brighter say you are a very last person. Unmute and talk.
Okay, Samson, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Samson, the issue is, I think it's not just about increasing the number of years with respect to the jail term. See, the whole thing has to do with implementation and proper implementation for that matter. Because even when it was 3 years, how many people were jailed out of that? How many people did that law prevented from giving bribe? We can go on and reduce, even increase it to 50 years, 60 years, or even 100 years. It will still not mean anything, because there need to be proper mechanism for implementation purposes. That's what matters.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you all for tuning in and being part of this program. This is The Law. It's your legal light. It's your help law. I am Samson Ladi Ayenini, hoping to come your way next week with another edition. Now remember that the law on bribery has changed. It used to be 3 years jail. Now it's 12 years minimum, 25 years maximum. Don't offer a bribe. Do the right thing. Have a good afternoon.